podcast, a proud member of the BucsReport.com family podcast, and of course presented by Red Cat Plumbing. I am your host, Sammer, and I'm hanging out with my boy, Chicken Breast. Stank can't hang out today, and we have a special guest to fill in for him, though, the founder and CEO of the DraftNetwork.com, JC. What is up? Welcome to the show, bro.
What's going on, guys? Happy to be here. Happy to chop it up with you guys and talk some Buccaneers football.
Hell yes. Hey, are the rumors true? Has Stank been suspended, or is he just off breaking the rules with his wife right now? What's going on?
He's in concussion protocol.
Oh, he's scared. Okay. He's scared to talk to me.
Concussion. I think that makes sense. The fear of talking to you as well. That's real. I mean, I don't know.
He's pretty scared to talk to me sometimes. He doesn't answer my phone calls, but JC, I think we've all digested the Saints game. We all understand what happened. We've either chalked it up to excuses or simply, circumstance. But this Sunday, we have the Carolina Panthers. They're playing at Raymond James. No fans, of course. But it is an opportunity for this team to rebound and respond to coming out and basically shooting themselves in the foot, right? Now, a lot was made last week about Donovan Smith. So my first question, of course, and my first note on this Carolina team is, what will the Bucs be facing when they go up against that pass rush with the front four and the front seven? Again, there's no Luke Kuechly here, but that front four is nothing to scoff at.
Right. So, Donovan Smith looks like he's going to be matching up mainly with Brian Burns, and Florida State fans know that guy is no joke. He can come off the edge. He's got a wide variety of moves, and he's fast. So it's going to be another tough test for Donovan, and he's going to have to step up. You saw Byron Leftwich today in the press conference kind of, get his back, take his back, say, Donovan's got it. He had a bad game, but he's going to bounce back, and he's a good player. I mean, if you're looking at the All-22 today, like I was, it was scary. There's a lot of embarrassing reps in there for Donovan Smith. And I tweeted out, NFL teams don't win a lot of ball games if their weakest link is their left tackle. So, we just got to hope and pray that he can turn it around and block Brian Burns this weekend and shit. Hopefully we get a W.
What did the Carolina Panthers do in week one? I mean, from what I saw, they didn't even have a quarterback hit. So the Bucs might be coming into a situation where, although that's a talented front four, they might be able to get things rolling because, they didn't even do anything to I think it was the Raiders they played.
Right. So Josh Jacobs ran all over them. And you go into the PFF and kind of look at the ratings and how the game went down. The rookie Derek Brown, a lot of hype coming out of Auburn. He had a terrible game, especially with his run defense. And then you look at who's across from him.
KJ Short.
Yeah, Short didn't have a good game as well. So, and Brian Burns, he's a skinnier guy. He's not going to be a great run defender. So you just got to hope that Fournette and especially Rojo, I think, can have a big game. And I think it should be a statement game for the Bucs.
I agree. I agree also with the All-22 assessment. I mean, I didn't watch the All-22, but I saw the clips that you were putting up and some other people putting up, and it was worse than we thought. It was bad. I mean, it was bad on run plays. It was bad on pass play. I think at one point you posted, or somebody that was following posted, I haven't seen a good rep yet. It was just bad. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping this is the cure-all. I'm hoping, just as a man, as a competitor, I mean, watching the tape, he's got to feel some type of way when you look at Tristan Wirfs on every snap and what he did, and he's a rookie with, he still has a little milk mustache, and then what you're doing and you're protecting the blind side of Brady. If he has an ounce of competitiveness, he needs to come out and kill it. But he usually struggles with that type of pass rusher, right, JC, with those speed guys coming off the edge as opposed to the power guys?
Yeah, I mean, he's had great games where he looks like a Pro Bowler, and then he's had games where I think it's mental for him. I think it really comes down to it's like a mental game for Donovan. And, we'll see. I think, the Cam Jordan rivalry, it's really turned into a rivalry over there with the Saints because Cam Jordan's trashed Donovan on social media. I think, was it last year, the year before? I mean, this is a real rivalry, and I think it becomes the biggest rivalry for the Bucs in the NFC South. But if I wanted to switch over real quick to Tristan Wirfs, talk about positives. I mean, that kid killed it for his first game as an NFL right tackle. I think he allowed 2 pressures on 42 pass rushing snaps. So, I mean, that's a solid start. And, I had him as my offensive player of the game for the Bucs in my podcast. So, hey, we'll take the positives there.
Yeah, the thing that might help Donovan out this week is the fact that, again, the Raiders ran the ball really, really well. I think it was like 4.1 yards or 4.3 yards a carry. They had like 130 yards rushing. It's usually easier to run block downhill as opposed to trying to, defend these skinnier, lankier, speed rushing guys in pass protection situations. So if the Bucs go into this game and really attempt to establish Rojo and really try to shove this down their throat and kind of slow the game down a little bit, and that might actually help the offensive line as a whole. And it'll open up some play action. I think this is the game. You mentioned Rojo, and this is the game that Rojo should just explode. I can't wait to see what he does against a team like this that doesn't look like they know what they're doing in terms of stopping the run. They had a bad game, obviously, but I think Rojo getting going in this game is going to be huge. It's going to help everybody across that offensive side.
I completely agree. I hope this is a 100-plus rushing yard game for Rojo, and similar to what the Raiders did with Josh Jacobs, just absolutely ran all over the Panthers, and it was just out-physicaled them. So We'll see. And
absolutely.
What are your thoughts from a defensive standpoint? I mean, a lot of people are overlooking the performance the defense had last week. We shot ourselves in the foot several times, the muff kick, the interceptions. But if not for those, I mean, I think Drew Brees had 160 yards passing or something like that. Mm-hmm. Had less than 300 yards of total offense, like 260. We held Kamara to nothing. I think he had 16 yards until he had that flea flicker gimmicky play or whatever it was. He got 2 touchdowns, but again, short fields, etc. Devin White, Levante David look stupid. I think this defense is going to go into Carolina. I'm just not that scared. What are your thoughts on the defense and facing, obviously, C-Mac, but we shut him down twice last year?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the one takeaway, Carlton Davis holds Michael Thomas to 3 receptions for 17 yards. That's crazy. I mean, you got to hope that he can repeat that kind of performance. You had Sean Murphy Bunting had a hell of a game. And he just looks like he's going to be a star in the nickel. And then how can we not talk about our rookie Antoine Winfield Jr., highest rated player by PFF on the Bucs defense? I mean, he was close to an interception there in the end zone. And then, yeah, you talk about Devin White and Levante David, star linebackers, and Devin White today in his press conference talked about how, he's not afraid of completely shutting down Christian McCaffrey like he did Kamara last week. Talked about how every time Kamara split out wide last week, Devin didn't allow a reception at all, and Devin White's got the speed to match up with McCaffrey and not have the Bucs have to use their safeties on those matchups.
Yeah, having a linebacker like Devin to put on either a tight end or a guy like Kamara, a guy like CMC, guys like that, I mean, that opens it up for everybody behind him because now you're not losing a secondary player. Now you can still have Winfield roaming around and doing what he does, and his confidence was through the roof in his first game as a rookie. It was just I've never seen anything like that, dude. And maybe it's because of his dad. Maybe it's because of the preparation that he's put in because of having an NFL father. All of that stuff. But if you go back to CMC, dude, we held him to barely over 100 yards total offense in 2 games last season combined. I'm not afraid of that guy like most other teams are. For whatever reason, the Bucs, they seem to know how to stop him. The run defense last week was kind of iffy. I think they gave up a little bit too much here and there, but it was still pretty solid. But going against CMC, if they tighten it up even more, I mean, I don't see how this Panthers team can possibly beat the Bucs if they can't establish CMC. So the key to one of the keys to the game here, obviously, is stop him. If you can stop CMC, which everyone says that, obviously, going into these games against the Panthers, but in this scenario, you stop him, I don't see how Teddy Bridgewater, with his quick release and the way our corners are playing, I don't see how they're going to beat us. I don't see the weapons to beat a team like the Bucs, especially on defense. So, CMC is where it starts and where it ends for the Bucs defense this Sunday.
I agree. And I think, Robbie Anderson, the new wide receiver on Carolina, he's a guy to watch because he's got that breakaway speed. And that's something I want to look at. If Carlton Davis is going to be matched up on him, the one thing with Carlton is he will get a little handsy when he gets a little behind with his speed. And that's the one thing I just want to watch out for is I don't want to see any of those PI calls on Carlton trying to keep up with Robbie.
Carlton played well on Sunday, but if you go back to last season, like, it wasn't that surprising. He's been on like a 4 or 5 game streak where the guy that he shadows just does not produce. So having him come in, carry that momentum into Sunday, dude, that was huge. He was one of my, I don't want to say surprises, but like one of my basically surprises of Sunday. I was like, wow. I mean, Carlton Davis is finally making that turn, and SMB looks like he's a stud. So against Carolina, if whoever he ends up having a shadow, I think safe bet, he's going to stop him.
Yeah, I agree. And, Jamel Dean, there's a lot of negative light because of that one play that really ended up not being his fault. And he was inches away from picking off Breeze on the Saints' second drive or third drive. And, I mean, those are just the little tiny plays that absolutely change ball games. I mean, the Bucs were a yard short with that pass to Scotty Miller, had to punt the ball. Saints get the ball, and Dean misses that pick by an inch. And if he, it's a different ball game if he picks that off. So
it's a different ball game if he get that first down.
I think the guy that needs to pull his head out of his ass is Jordan Whitehead. As much as I love him in the run support, he was definitely a liability in the passing game. We know he can do it. You just gotta prove it. You know what I mean? Because can't be that weak link back there. The rest of the second looked good.
That defensive PI he had where Bunting was all over the play, that killed us. I mean, that just can't happen. Whitehead didn't have a good game, and you got to hope he improves too, because he has the potential to play well. He almost knocked out Michael Thomas with that hit, and Thomas held that ball. That's another play. Just holy shit.
But that was like a 3-yard gain. But if we shift our focus back to the offense a little bit for the Bucs, a lot was made of Tom Brady's first game with Bruce. A lot was made of the interceptions, some of the comments between, about Tom from Bruce himself in the media. Stuff that's kind of overblown. But going into this game, it's the second game of the season. You saw Tom Brady today in his press conference. Is this a Tom Brady rebound game? Or what are we going to see from Tom in the second game of what others would call his first game, basically a bad game by Tom?
All right. Tom Brady's had a bunch of these games where people write him off afterwards. I mean, he had that loss to the Chiefs that one year. He went on to win the Super Bowl. He lost to Mahomes, won the Super Bowl. I mean, people calling him out like Max Kellerman with like these idiotic takes. Like, yes, okay, the guy's 43. This is crazy that he's still playing, but he looks like he's 35. And in his press conference today, like, the guy is out for blood. I mean, just from the start of the press conference, he looks just pissed off. Like, he wants to be playing right now. He's ready to go against Carolina, because I think he comes in, and I think it's a statement game, and it's a big fuck you to all the haters out there that we're talking shit about one bad loss that, it's going to be corrected pretty soon.
Bro, did you see the press conference, Hammer?
I didn't get to see it. JC was talking to me about it before the game.
You should go watch it, bro, because I watched it as I was shopping at Publix, my favorite place to shop, about 30 minutes ago, man. And like JC said, Tom is always business, but, he has that smile and that charm, and he gives you the company line, man. And I don't remember what was the first question, JC, if you remember or not. But
it was Greg Allman asked him.
He's like, what? Just like, get to the point already. It wasn't like, just spit it out already. I was like, oh my God, Tom is pissed.
Greg asked him about the relationship with Bruce and how Bruce is making comments that, Tom didn't play well. And Tom's like, what's the question? He's like, he's a coach. I'm a player. Next.
Trying to win a game.
Yeah. But dude, that we were talking a little bit about it before the show. That's how Michael Jordan was. That's how Kobe Bryant was. Kobe Bryant, once he put that jersey over his bottom lip, and you saw his jaw just tighten up, you're like, oh shit, get the fuck out of this guy's way. And if he lost, he was like that until the next game. So Tom is wired like those guys. So why not? I mean, I'm gonna go back and watch his press conference. I didn't have time today to watch it, but dude, I can imagine what you guys are talking about because I can see it, and I'm like, oh man, like, but that's what you want. And so when you see that, and you know what people are saying about him, and what you would perceive as a bad game by Tom Brady standards, you know, I think this is a big game for Tom. Not a big, you know, must-win type of scenario, but a big game for Tom. He's going to come out there, he's going to rebound, and he's going to basically say, fuck you, like you're saying, just shut everybody up and get this team kind of back on track, reel in some of these mistakes, which I don't think will happen 2 weeks in a row with a Tom Brady and a Bruce Arians working together on a team. I just don't see it happening.
I'm not a fantasy expert. Yeah, I don't claim to be. I'm just a barber. Just work at UPS. Normal. I got 2 kids. Normal husband. But I'm telling you, start fucking Brady in fantasy this week. He's throwing 8 fucking touchdowns. After that goddamn press conference, he's throwing for 500 yards and 8 touchdowns. He is not going to start Brady.
Listen, I wouldn't doubt it because the Carolina secondary is nothing special.
Bradbury. No Bradbury anymore.
He's gone. They are not special. I think Tom and Mike Evans and Scotty Miller are going to attack that rookie that they have out there and give him a little bit of a welcome to the NFL, big boy, because
Godwin's still my play, bro. Godwin's still my play. All hope is not lost
even if he doesn't. I mean, just having that rookie out there, the secondary did not look good against the Raiders. It just did.
Their cornerback, Tony Pride, was one of the worst rated cornerbacks by PFF this week. It was like a 29 grade. It was terrible. He got
they look lost.
Used out there.
On the Henry Ruggs, the 2 bombs to Henry Ruggs, they look lost. Like he was wide. I know he's fast, but he was wide open, like busted coverage. I was like, okay.
If guys having PTSD, it's Henry Ruggs. Now it's Scotty Miller. So
have fun with that.
If they can protect Brady like they did in that first drive against the Saints, against this secondary and that linebacking core in Carolina, I really think the Bucs could just drop 45, 50 points on this team, honestly, especially if they get the run game going. And when Tom has a run game, he's got the weapons. You know, you're basically at his disposal because he can just do whatever he wants out there. He can switch to a run. He can switch out of a run. And if you go into 12 personnel, there's no way you can stop this team. When this team establishes the run with the weapons they have, come on, dude, there's nothing you can do. And if Brown out of Auburn looks like he's kind of taking a little bit of time to get acclimated to the NFL, go in there and punch him in the mouth. Send Jensen in there to hit him in the face. Just, like, pound the fucking rock. If there was a week to get Rojo going, this would be the week, man. And Fournette should do just as well, if not better, than Rojo because he's bigger. He's a guy that's going to bruise teams like that might have a little bit less weight on the outside edges of that line. But go ahead.
Let's talk about that interior offensive line, by the way. Speaking of Derrick Brown, JC, what kind of game did Jensen have? I didn't hear his name much. He looked good.
He played.
Looked good to me.
Yeah.
And then Ali Marpet, I'm gonna let you go over that, but I saw a play on Hallie. I think it was the play action play to Godwin on the first drive where he pulled, and I'm talking, Sam, I don't know if you saw it or not.
I saw it.
On an island. This is a guard, man. Pulled and stuffed and had to battle Cameron Jordan for a good 3-4 seconds. I was like, this guy's amazing. For a guard? Amazing. That's Cameron Jordan. That's an all-pro freaking pass rusher. And just walled him. So how did you think the interior played? We know Tristan Wirfs played good. Donovan, but the interior of the offensive line.
So Jensen and Ali Marpet, they both played like monsters. Like Jensen had a phenomenal game at center. And that's why a reason I think, the interior will manhandle that Carolina line, and Rojo and Fournette could run all day on them. So I think it's interesting to watch, especially since if Carolina is going to have to stack the box with the weakness on the defensive line, I mean, shit, who knows what happens with Evans and Scotty. Hopefully Godwin plays. It could get ugly out there for their defense really quick. It's
hard to stack the line and then leave your young secondary, which isn't a good secondary, out there against guys like who the Bucs put out there. I mean, just having Scotty Miller drag across behind that if they blitz to stop the run and then Tom checks out of it or audibles out, that's it. Like Scotty, I see Scotty having a good game this week. And not even if Godwin plays, I honestly see 100 yards from Scotty and a touchdown. I see him going either down the seam or just having one of those quick little, drag routes that ends up going. He almost had, he almost had one. If Tom throws it like maybe a couple inches ahead of him on a pass that he actually completed to Scotty against the Saints, if he throws it a couple inches ahead of him, he might just split right down the middle and take it to the house, dude. I think it might have been that play we talked about earlier where he was like an inch short of the first down on third down. He could have taken it to the house if he was just a little bit further in front of him.
Yeah, I think, like you said, if Godwin plays, I think Scotty even has a bigger game if Godwin plays because it really opens up matchups for him. And, he's just so fun to watch. I know all of us are high on him on social media and make jokes and wide receiver one jokes and stuff. But, dude, we're honestly blessed to have him on this team.
I'm not joking. He's wide receiver one.
Yeah, Stank is dead serious, bro. I don't know how many
I am serious, too. What do you mean Stank? I'm serious. Look at me.
Stank has a tattoo of a scooter on his calf.
By the way, why are we referring to him as Scotty? It's Scooter. What are you doing
Scooter.
Here?
We gotta stop that. Knock that off.
Scooter.
But JC, we're having this conversation. I'm starting to feel good. It's Thursday. We're gonna have some football tonight. We're a couple days from game day. The juices are starting to flow again. We burnt that tape. That tape is gone, right?
The hangover's done. The hangover's
done. It's done.
Over.
But we're Bucs fans. I have a lot of scar tissue.
Oh,
I've been abused. We're having all these positive talks. We should destroy this team on paper, but I'm a little scared, man. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It's bubbling, but fuck, it's got to be the scar tissue or the abuse.
Let me take the Bucs goggles off and just neutral over here. The Buccaneers to win this game and cover the spread, which is like 8.5. They 100% the defense needs to create turnovers in this game. Like we need a forced fumble, we need a strip sack, we need an interception. We need to be on the winning side of the turnover battle in this game. We cannot be losing turnover battles, and I mean that costs you games. So I think though a key stat for this game is if Tampa Bay wins the turnover battle with Carolina, I think we get the W. And I think it really comes down to the turnovers. It always has, and we just got to play a clean game. And I think we'll be fine.
I don't see. Here's the thing. We kind of touched on this with Jake a little bit. If you had Jameis back here again, you might think. No, I'm just saying you might think that those turnovers could happen again. But the likelihood of this happening 2 times in a row, let alone 2 times in a season, for Tom Brady, I just don't see it, man. I don't see him making bad throws. Again, that throw to Mike Evans was a bad read, bad communication issue. But that one where he threw the pick six, it was just a bad throw. Happens sometimes. I just don't see that happening from Tom. And again, if the defense can create some turnovers, I think it just makes it easier for the offense. I just don't see how we don't. If we can stop CMC, there's no way that Bridgewater's going to tear us up. I mean, the way those corners played on Sunday just tells me there's no way, unless we just have injuries across the board, which, knock on wood, I hope doesn't happen.
Are the Raiders supposed to have a decent defense, JC? Or I mean, I've heard before the season started, they were supposed to be decent on paper.
I think it's a decent paper defense. I need to dive into that more. I don't think they don't have like stars over there. I'm trying to think in my head right now on their lineup.
I don't know. I know they drafted some. They've invested some.
I mean, they have that Abrams at safety, which he was good at Mississippi State. But I mean, I don't think it's like a star defense.
What did Carolina do in terms of protecting Teddy Bridgewater this past week? Like, is there something there for the Bucs to exploit, or are they going against an offensive line that might be a little tough to overcome?
The offensive line, like I said, they had a terrible time against. The offensive line over there, they just could not block for the running back for McCaffrey. So I just think, I think we need to see Shaq Barrett really turn it around and have a good game because he was kind of non-existent that last game. And, we need to see those flashes off the edges, getting sacks but like usually we're used to Shaq Barrett almost like right there at the plays. And you weren't seeing a lot of that. So, So hopefully, JPP and him are just coming off the edge and getting pressure on Teddy because, Teddy's not a fast guy. And he's just – we got to attack those matchups. So.
Hey, listen, I think his first multi-sack game last year was the Thursday Night Football against the Panthers. Yeah. So whoever the left tackle is, he had 2 sacks on Cam Newton. So hopefully we see some of that, some of the JPP. Vita Vea needs to step up, easy with the penalties and stuff like that, and just more push. It just, we had Jake on, and I get it. They played phenomenal against the run. I'm not trying to take anything away from that, but from a passer standpoint, there were times where we're getting the ball out fast. I get it, but there were opportunities as well where Breeze had to hold it a little longer and kind of double clutch and pump it and pat the ball. And it's like, where are we? Where are we at? So we definitely need to see some push from Vita, and JPP and Shaq should go off. I'm hoping
it's definitely harder against the Saints to have that pass rush because they're so good with the screen game. It's like you don't want to overcommit against them because they'll burn you. So I hope, you know, Carolina, they're just restart. They're after it. Shaq and JPP are all over it. And hopefully Sue has a better game as well.
Yeah, Bridgewater also in week 1, he got the ball out just as quickly. I think he was like a hair behind getting the ball out behind Breeze. So the Bucs, you know, they're not going against a guy there that's not just going to hold on to the ball too. So they do have to kind of get there a little bit quicker than how they were doing against the Saints. But the I just see again, if I were to predict, you know, a big play guy on defense, I would just say Devin White. I think Devin White gets an interception, dude. I
Way
love
to go out
Devin.
on a limb, bro.
I know, man. It's an easy pick, but I mean, you want me to pick one that's not an easy pick? I see him having a freaking good day because he's going to be around the ball a lot. They're going to involve him with CMC. CMC touches the ball a lot for the Panthers. I just don't see how he doesn't get a pick and just have like another with like 10 tackle day. If you want me to pick somebody other than that, then the obvious, I guess. I say Carlton Davis finally gets a pick. I think Carlton Davis gets his first pick of the season this Sunday, and maybe it's a pick 6.
I'm gonna go with Winfield gets a pick.
Okay,
I like that. I was gonna say
Winfield gets a pick, and since you went first, well, you can go JC, and then we'll circle it back. Why don't you give us who you think your surprise is going to be on offense, Sammer, when we circle back? But JC, who's your? I mean, you were going to say Winfield, so I kind of took it from you, but
no, it's fine. No, you know, I hope Bunting will get a pick, but I hope we see Devin White get involved in the Bulls blitzes, and I hope Devin gets a sack. That would be nice to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when he hits people, dude, he hits them. Holy shit!
Does he not look like a monster in the new uniforms? Like he's always been a monster, but he just looks big, dude.
He looks like it's just like superhero status, bro.
And the LSU pads coming out.
Bro,
oh my god! How do you not love that favorite guy on the team?
When he lassoed Kamara, because that's literally what he did. He like ragdolled him. I was like,
oh my god,
that looked like an adult just like slamming a child to the ground. Like,
dude, in the first quarter alone against the Saints, he had like 5 massive tackles. Like it was just like holy shit. And
on that first drive,
he was everywhere. And I just kept thinking, holy shit, dude, this guy reminds me a lot of Ray Lewis. He's everywhere, and he was chatting it up. Like a couple of times I was holding my breath. I thought he was going to get a penalty for just standing over the guy and flexing on him. And I was like, dude, yo, chill out. Where's Levante to pull you back? But he talked today too about how, you know, playing every, you know, coming in every day and going against, you know, a guy like that in CMC and like being better and having that responsibility. He takes a C on his chest seriously. And him and Levante have this thing going on where they're trying to outplay each other, which is good competition to have on a team. And Levante David, of all those people to be in competition with, holy shit, dude. Most underrated player probably in the entire NFL. But he looked like a missile out there, man. I can't even remember a game where he looked like that. And I can't remember, even Levante, as good as he is, do you have a game where you're just like, holy shit, every time he was flying across the screen, you say, holy shit, look at Levante. I loved Levante too.
I've seen splash plays from Levante like that, but I haven't seen a blur. Like Devin White is a blur on Sunday, bro. It's like,
he ran a 4.4 at the combine.
Insane, bro. At that size, that's stupid.
When
he ran down Carson last year, I was like, "What am I watching right now?"
Like,
you
could tell it.
You could outran Whitehead to the running back. What is this?
You could tell that he's comfortable, man. Too. Like he looks like he doesn't need to think about the defense, and he's just out there playing right now. And on Sunday, he was hitting people. I guess he's also making the calls now, and he seems pretty comfortable with that, which is pretty big for a second-year linebacker in a system like what Todd Bowles runs, because it's so exotic and all, you know, and having Levante next to you to help you out too doesn't really hurt, like Bruce said. So, am I supposed to give an offensive player now?
Offensive guy.
Yeah. I think the secondary of the Panthers has too many weaknesses and too many youngsters, but
you bastard, don't you do it.
No, I think Rojo has I think Rojo goes for like 125 and a couple touchdowns, honestly.
I love it. I love it, but I don't love it as much as my pick.
I know what your pick is.
You know what my pick is my favorite player on the team. Godzilla goes off this week, bro. Mike Evans goes off this week. That's cute, the scooter stuff. We could joke. I could joke wide receiver 1, all that stuff. But don't get it twisted, bro.
You said you weren't joking.
Godzilla goes the fuck off this week. Got a full week of practice. He talked about how he couldn't practice, couldn't get on the same page, felt weird. He didn't even run full speed until game day. He's going to go off this week. I think he has one of those games.
Give me a stat line.
180. One of those, man, like the Rams game. 150 plus. 150 plus. Two touchdowns.
That Giants first half where he had 3 touchdowns and over 100 yards. Somehow we fucking lost the game.
He has one of those. Let's not talk about that. That's my prediction. How about yours, JC?
Dude, I'm in the same camp as you that Mike Evans comes back with a huge game this week against Carolina. You took him, so I'm gonna have to go with Scooter. I think Scooter has like 10 receptions this week for maybe 90 or 100, and maybe
PPR
hopefully
sleeper?
a touchdown.
PPR sleeper this week?
I think he's a PPR play this week. Yeah.
You know what's crazy, man. We've talked about all. I don't think any of us have ever mentioned the tight ends in these first 2 weeks of our little prediction game, but
OJ had a great game, by the way.
Is this the game? Is this the game that Gronk gets going? Like, what was up with Gronk? Did Gronk maybe need that one game to kind of get his feet back underneath him, or like what did you see? I haven't gotten to watch all 22. So what did you see from Gronk? Like, how did they actually?
A lot of people didn't get to watch it, bro. You didn't see Twitter. People were losing their mind.
Yeah, people.
Yeah, I was
like, if I see one more all 22 meme, I'm gonna log off.
But JC, you saw it. So what did you see from Gronk in terms of how the Bucs used him? Was he actually out there in those routes, or was he predominantly used as a blocker on the line to help?
He was used as a blocker most of the entire game to try to help out that line. I mean, that's what I saw. And OJ, on OJ's catches, he was slipping out. But OJ always seems to score the same kind of touchdown. It's that like play at Alabama. It's like the guy's always just sneaking alone, like running up by himself. It's the same touchdown every time.
Wide open too.
Wide open, OJ Howard. Yeah.
I think because he's such a good blocker that it's easy for him to sell it because people expect him to be blocking, and they're like, "Oh, it's Bruce. He's not gonna throw it to him." And he ends up slipping
guy's got
out.
the best fake block move in the game, right there.
But I heard on that play though. I don't know if you went back and watched. I heard on that play that him and Gronk actually crossed, so they both ran the same route, both to the corner of the end zone. It's just he was wide open. I guess the coverage just rolled over towards Gronk's side.
Yeah.
Gronk's. Tom and Gronk are probably texting a little bit, both really pissed off, saying like, fuck you, New England. Like, they think they're so cute with Cam Newton up there, blah, blah, blah. And I could see Gronk having a much better game, hopefully, and getting more involved with Brady.
By the way, speaking of New England, I listened to the TDM podcast, which I love. I'm subscribed. And yeah, Jamie's right. Jake is absolutely right. Paige is right. That stuff's cute, right? When you're running week 1 against the Dolphins, that's cute, but those hits are going to accumulate. We've seen that story with Cam. It's not going to last. 1, 2, it just takes 1 week, right? Now everybody has the tape on that. You're not going to do that over and over again in the NFL. He's either going to get hurt, and they don't care because they only have him for 1 year, but it's not going to last.
I'll say this about Cam Newton in New England. He's lucky he doesn't have to face Devin White hitting him on those runs because, goddamn.
Yeah, you give him a few cracked ribs on the way out. I know that. Fuck, dude.
Full speed hit, Sammer. You get $100,000. You get $100,000. You taking the hit
from Devin White?
Devin White.
Nah, man, I'm cool. I don't need extra $100,000. I'm solid. I'm okay. Would you take it?
I'm taking it, bro.
You're a little bit bigger. You got a little bit more like cannonball. I'm
just going to the fetal position. Fuck that shit.
Oh man, I'd go maybe Warwick Dunn-esque. I don't know if I'm small enough to go that Warwick Dunn getting that little ball and just bounce off at the tacklers kind of move. I don't know, man.
Anyway, JC, listen, let's get on to the important shit, bro.
Uh-oh.
This is real shit here.
Real stuff.
You saw that we're having a little bit of a get together this Sunday, a little watch party, just a little thing, no big deal. I saw you made some comments, so I'm pretty confident I know one of the answers to your question. But I don't know the first answer. We're all sophisticated people here when it comes to our palates and our choice of football foods. Chicken wings is it. So if you're having wings, JC, you're having wings, extra crispy, by the way, because if you don't like your wings well done, get the fuck out.
Yeah, if you're
Not
going
you,
with
JC.
that,
Not you.
No, I'm
Everyone
good
else.
with that.
if you're
Good
going
with
with that
yeah.
rubbery skin nonsense, man,
Rubbery skin shit. Get out.
then you're probably one of those people that
If you're
like
having
fucking
your
potato
wings
salad
extra
and
crispy,
raisins.
if you're having those chicken wings extra crispy, do you
You're
need
making me hungry, dude. I haven't had lunch.
Do you need them sauced up and wet? You're gonna lick your fingers and shit, or do you want chalkboard? Stank's not fucking here. Chalkboard, fucking dry rub. How you having them?
Give them to me wet. Give them to me wet. Nice and juicy.
Oh yeah,
Give them to me juicy.
1 out of 1,
absolutely.
or 1 out of 2.
All right.
Sammer, please proceed.
All right, so that one's that one's an iffy question. Sometimes people don't get that one right, man. But this one here, this one's really the one that decides if you're ever going to be on this podcast again, if we're ever going to hang out with you again, all of those things basically. I won't call you a friend if you don't get this right. I'm hoping.
Before you ask, you're pretty close with Trevor Sikahema, right?
I was going to go there.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
You're pretty good friends with him. He's part of the TDN network. Okay, so he might have been brainwashed. Go ahead.
Dude, I was about to say, I'm hoping Trevor didn't already get to you, man. But, I'm hoping you didn't succumb to the peer pressure. But if you had to dip those wings, man, are you dipping them in blue cheese or are you dipping them in ranch?
All right. So before I answer this question, I just want to announce that I started a podcast with Paige DeMacos called Dual Threat. Comes out every Tuesday and Fridays. So please check in.
Absolutely.
I'll be dipping those in ranch.
Wow.
Son of a bitch.
I had to announce that so if I never see you guys again.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, that's
fair.
That's pretty
fair.
smart. That's a
I
smart
thought you
move.
were going to go with blue cheese because it's dual threat. You know what I mean?
I didn't know if you guys were just
So
going to end the feed and like hang up.
Just hang up.
I mean,
We're on a bad streak here, Sammer. This is like the
Yeah.
third guest in a row, bro, that goes ranch. What the fuck is going on?
we've got to send out forms or something that like
Dude, I put
analyzes-
ranch on pizza. I mean,
No.
I'll eat. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're
No.
putting ranch on your pizza, then
Then
your
you have
pizza
shitty
is not
pizza.
good. Your pizza's not good.
I listen. I
You
respect
can't
your
argue
comment.
with that.
It's
No,
your
I mean
comment.
it's true. You use ranch on shitty pizza.
Thank
Like
you.
ranch makes shitty pizza good. So like if it's like
Alright.
a legit good 10 out of 10, not it's never a 10, like a 9 out of 10 pie,
You don't need ranch.
like you don't need ranch. You just enjoy your
Well,
pizza.
dude,
But if it's like a shitty pizza, you got to use some ranch.
You're
And
out
then
or
there.
like leftovers or cold pizza. I get it.
Your studio's on Siesta. Do you remember that? I don't know if it's still out there or if you had to move out of that spot, but Solzerano's is out there. in Sarasota.
Solzerano's, yeah. They
You
have
know,
that. They have
you
a
do
late night
not-
place.
You do not need to
I'm-
dip that pizza.
listen,
in ranch.
I've rated every Sarasota pizza place. So I will say Solzerano's is not on my list, but there's Il Panificio, Main
yeah.
Street, Sarasota. That place,
Dude,
Legit?
that's a fire
abso-
pizza.
Yes.
That's a fire pizza.
You know who has an underrated pizza around here, bro? And this might be really, I don't
Totally
know. People
lost.
might
I'm
totally
actually from
disagree with me.
Tampa.
I know.
Right.
It's Evie's. Evie's has a freaking good pizza.
Dude, the nice thing about that is like go to the driving range, order a pizza. You know, are you talking about the one on Main Street as well with the bowling
The
alley?
Main Street one, you
I
could
mean-
go. I was gonna say if you down.
I mean,
if
it's
you're
like
down,
you can go
you just go
bowling and
bowling.
eat pizza, or you can go
Yeah.
golf and eat pizza. I mean,
It's
yeah,
dope.
they're killing it both ways for sure.
You guys
Yeah,
are having a moment here. Guess what?
They
Raymond
have a
James
good
is
buffalo
20 minutes
chicken
from my
pizza.
house. Okay.
Oh, dude, all their
20
pizza's
minutes.
good,
Yeah, you're
and they even have good wings. The sloppy
Yeah.
buffalo
Agreed.
wings are really, really good over there too. Yeah.
We're gonna have to
Alright.
go. We're gonna have to go do that. We're gonna have to meet up there.
We're gonna
I'm
have
just
to,
gonna,
man.
I'm just gonna chill here on my phone.
You're invited this Sunday. You know that, right? To the watch
Yeah.
party that
You
we're
coming?
doing with Sauce and Wings over there at C1949 up in Tampa.
Let the people know. We'll allow ranch in the parking lot.
They will allow ranch, unfortunately, but they make a pretty good wing. We have an official wing of the show now, so we're hanging out there. They're going to put out a 145 or 150 inch HD projector, outdoor seating. They're very COVID conscious. It's going to be a dope time, dude. You're invited, obviously. I don't know if you already
That
have
sounds
plans,
awesome.
but it's up in Tampa. If you need any information, I'll shoot you the info, dude. Just come hang out with us, man. Be some shenanigans, blue cheese everywhere. Might be doing a kissing booth for me. I'm not sure why.
Might be. You're fresh off of COVID, bro. People want to roll the dice. I'm not rolling the dice, but some people want to roll the dice. All right, JC, let's get on the nitty gritty, the meat and potatoes, bro. Give us your week's prediction. What's going to go down this week? You gave us our defensive player or offensive player, score prediction, and who wins.
I think the Bucs win 38-14.
They're giving up 14 points.
I like it. Sammer's like, they gave up 14 points. I like it. I like it. I like it, JC. Strong. I like it. Sammer?
No, you go first, man.
No, I asked you.
My shit's always outlandish, bro. I think we're winning 47-9.
3 field goals. Or I don't think they're going to get a safety. So
I think it'll be a field goal, a touchdown with a missed extra point. And that's what I think is going to happen.
Bucs win 35-17.
35 says you're giving up. Why are you guys giving up so many points to this team? I don't get it. I don't see how they're going to score.
I mean, hopefully all the backups are in. So
C-Mac is still C-Mac. Shut him down, but he's still C-Mac.
Anyway, listen, JC, you need to come hang out with us more often, bro. I know you're like crazy busy with the TDN, and now you got another podcast with Paige. You got to come hang out with us, bro. Threat. Yeah, this was pretty fun.
Hey, man, I'm down.
Got to come break down some opponents and talk about the Bucs are going to obviously get a win this week. So, it's going to be a great Buck week coming up. All of you guys out there, make sure you follow JC if you don't already. It's kind of crazy. Like, dude, you kind of like blew up when you first hit Twitter, man. Network.
Like, are you guys crazy? If you're not on the TDN network, I don't know what the hell you're doing. That draft simulation machine.
Oh my God.
Why did you invent that? That's addictive.
Yeah, we had to.
Addictive as hell.
Hopefully it turns into a legit video game that you can play on a console. So.
Well, yeah, Madden should take some tips from you guys when it comes to that.
Dude,
right?
imagine
franchise mode is trash.
Oh man, if
but
they got
yes,
TDN
it's amazing
into that franchise mode.
You guys have like a subscription too, where you get the prediction stuff. It would just TDN, the TDN network, the draft network. It's amazing. They're heavy hitters, man. Paige, it's amazing.
Even Trevor, I know he likes ranch too. You guys, I think
Trevor,
you guys all like ranch.
Trevor's amazing, man. Trevor was the chosen one. He sacrificed.
Jake Arians is over at TDN. Come on.
Yeah,
he's as well, bro.
He's
Jamie as well.
Jamie Isaac, Kyle Krabs, Joe Marino, Jordan Reed. We're all. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're all ranch guys, dude. It's kind of wild.
We got a stacked roster over there.
Looking like the Bucs roster, man.
No. I know we hate on Trevor a lot because of the ranch thing, but no, Trevor's a good friend of ours, man. Trevor does good stuff. I know he had to move to Carolina for this team to win because apparently there was some sort of curse attached to him, but we thank you, Trevor, for doing that. JC, again, man, thanks for hanging out, bro. If you want to let people know one more time where they can check out that new podcast that you just launched, which according to I haven't gotten a chance to listen. I've subscribed, but Christian says it's freaking dope. So
good shit.
I'm getting that probably
bro,
Friday podcast.
It's Paige DeMarcos and JC Cornell, bro. They're both plugged in. Yeah. What else you got to know? They're both plugged in. Okay.
Yeah.
It's an amazing podcast.
We'll be So it's Dual Threat Podcast. You can find it on Spotify right now. Apple has an issue with it. It'll be on Apple next week. But you can find me at Cornell NFL on Twitter. And just give me a follow.
Just so you know, it popped on Apple today because I was
able
to download it. Yep.
Wow, that's fantastic news. Thank you
for
telling me that.
All you weird iPhone people.
We are not weird.
Oh yeah.
Nobody likes green bubble text, bro. It's all about blue.
It's not green bubble text. No one does that. Anyway, JC, thanks again, bro. Christian, go take a nap. You're grumpy. I don't like you today. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And as always, go Bucs.
Go Bucs. What are you talking about?